Listen up, Gotham. This is Batman. Tune into the Bat Fan Addict podcast with Sammy Warm Hands. And if you don't, I'll be coming for you.
Hey everybody, it's the Dark Knight of Rap, Sammy Warm Hands, and this is not quite the Bat Fan Addict podcast. That's right. Last year we did a special episode for DC Fandome. It wasn't part of our regular program. And this year, we didn't get the gang to watch the whole 4-hour thing. I had a lot of things happening this weekend, and we're doing it a little differently. So I just did an Instagram live with my friend from New York, Grumps from the Bat Force. You might know Bat Force Radio. And this is just a loose kind of informal rundown of everything we saw at DC Fandome. Now, as a reminder, if you want to support the show, you can click the link in our Instagram bio at Bat Fan Addict, or go to patreon.com/Bat Fan Addict. But this is me and Grumps from New York City on DC Fandome. What up?
Yo, what's going on?
Well,
thank you, Sammy, for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I just didn't really get a chance to do a proper episode this week for Fandome with the guys. I just had a lot of stuff going on this weekend. I thought, well, shit, let's just do a quick little Instagram to chat about it,
First of all, again, thank you. More people like us should do this shit because we just should, share and be like partners and helpful towards each other. So.
Yeah, and I've been seeing you do these pretty often, and it just kind of made me think, like, oh, yeah, that'd be a great way to do it, This dude who follows our show named Austin was like, hey, are you going to do an episode on Fandome? I'm like, I don't really see how that's going to happen. So this was a pretty good alternative. So
I see Robin D. Cross joined us. Nice.
Yeah, what's up, awesome. Robin?
Appreciate that, Robin.
The man with impeccable taste. Did you watch all of DC Fandome the other day?
I watched literally the whole thing.
Yeah, me too. I kind of made a list of everything that I could remember. They kicked it off with the Black Adam shit. I'm pretty excited about that. What was your first thought on it?
First of all, I like The Rock. From when he was a wrestler. He's my favorite wrestler.
Really?
One of my favorites. I'm a OG wrestling fan, Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes and a bunch of other guys. But he's one of my favorite wrestlers. I like him as a personality. I haven't seen too many of his movies, to be honest.
Yeah.
A couple of the Fast and Furious movies, and a couple of sprinkled movies here and there. But I don't know. Just like him as a personality. Seems like a cool guy. Bat Force, we recorded our reactions episode last night.
Nice.
So, yeah, I like him as Black Adam. Long answer short. I like him as Black Adam. Looks the part.
Yeah, I think he's a good cast. And, I wasn't, aside from Kingdom Come and a couple random things, I wasn't that familiar with, Captain Marvel, Shazam, whatever. And when that Zachary Levi movie dropped, I fucking loved it. It was one of those where I had sort of not a lot of expectations and was just like, holy shit, that was really fun. And I instantly bought the Jeff Johns, Gary Frank comic, and I really enjoyed it. And so when this project was announced, I've been on board since the beginning. I mean, he seems, like you said, a perfect cast.
Yeah, I mean, what you said, fun is the perfect word for Shazam.
Yeah, totally.
It just seemed fun. Yeah, I can't lie and say, I knew him growing up, but he was, to me, sort of on the outskirts. As you get further away from whatever, from the main, Batman, Superman, blah blah blah. But the movie was fun, enjoyable from start to finish.
I even liked, actually, when they queued up the Fury of the Gods trailer or teaser or whatever it was, and they had the kid playing young Billy introducing it.
Yeah.
And when he says the title of the movie, it flashed and became Zachary Levi. I laughed out loud when they did that. It's so easy, but it was perfect.
Yeah, well, you're saying it's perfect. I'm a fucking moron. Excuse my language. Because I didn't know who it was. You know, now he's. Oh my God, how many years?
Well, yeah, he's older.
2 years.
Yeah.
So I didn't know who he was, and I was like, oh, then I was like, duh, it's, Billy Bats. I'm like, oh God,
No, it took me a second. It took me a second too, and I was thinking like, oh man, like how old are all these kids gonna be now? You know, it's like Stranger Things has taken so fucking long. Like, are these kids gonna have like mustaches and beards now? You know, shit.
Yeah, right. Because I guess Shazam was. It's 2021. I don't know. What was it? 2019, 2018?
Yeah, probably like 2018. It seems like it's been a while.
So that would mean it was probably filmed in 17 or,
Yeah.
It's crazy, like, how like we sort of lost time during the pandemic.
Yeah, it's all blurs together at this point.
Yeah.
I remember when I went to see that movie, the dude who wound up sitting next to me was in full Shazam cosplay. And so I was like, yo, can I take a picture with you? Like just sitting there in the movie seats. Like it was one of the funniest things because neither of us had to move. We were just like, yes. Now, I know that you were not a fan of the James Gunn Suicide Squad movie, so I assume you are counted out for Peacemaker?
I'm not counted out for Peacemaker.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm a wrestling fan. Like John Cena, to a guy like me, John Cena is like kind of like a Hulk Hogan light. Okay. Like, I don't like Hulk Hogan, but John Cena is it's tolerable. And what put me over the top was seeing Vigilante. Yeah. And I was like, well, I'm in huge, obviously, we're both Batman guys. Yeah. And for me, by way of Batman is Robin, and Robin, Teen Titans, and Teen Titans, Vigilante, like, oh shit, Vigilante's in this? I am fucking in. So.
And I'm pretty ignorant to the characters that they're using in the same way that I was with the Suicide Squad. I mean, this is probably going to be another one where the show introduces me to them,
Yeah. There's another character they mentioned during the fandom. Is it Kung Fu Master? He's the character in the green, getup.
I'm not sure. The one I was excited about was the actress from Orange is the New Black who played Tasty is one of the cast members on there. And
yeah, that's the black girl, right?
Yeah. And I was very excited about that. She's amazing, but I'm better with actors than I am like deep cut characters. So
hey, we can help each other then.
Yeah. So after that, they did their little farewell to Supergirl panel. Do you watch
which is cool.
Any of those shows?
No.
Yeah.
Not because I don't like Supergirl. Dude, there's so much shit to watch, and it's like, yeah. I've told you this before at least twice. I'm a true crime fucking nut job. If I'm not watching true crime shows, it's the podcast in my ear. Yeah. So I didn't get a chance to watch the show. But I was telling the guys last night, like, man, we are seeing some amazing characters in DC movies and TV, and that includes Supergirl. Yeah. Like Martian Manhunter, super important to the DC universe.
Yeah, I thought that was rad that they used him because I only started watching the show a while back after rereading the Superman Batman series that she was in, like the Michael Turner thing, and then I started buying her solo comics that spin off of that, and it's like, man, I'm gonna give this show another chance because I remember watching like 1 or 2 episodes and being like, dude, this is just. I mean, a lot of those TV shows, they're low budget and they're just kind of corny, and I started watching it again, and it's one that I can't watch it every day because it is just a little bit silly. There's not a lot going on, but it's one that like Netflix will be like, continue watching. I'm like, sure, I'll pick this up for a night. Why not? Like it's fun. Like the effects aren't very good. It's a little bit cheesy, but I think Melissa is a perfect cast, and again, like using Martian Manhunter and some of these other characters. Like I didn't even realize the new Superman, the dude from Lois and Superman or whatever that new show was called.
Yeah.
Was introduced on that show. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
I'm still pretty early on.
Can I say hi to my friend Joe? Hi, Joe.
Yeah, what's up?
Son of Atlantis. A very good friend of mine. Yeah, but the fun thing is, for me anyway, a good portion of it is seeing the live action bullshit.
Yeah.
Seeing people in the costumes or whatever. That's why I watch Titans, which, a lot of my friends know that I fucking hate that show. It's just, I can't believe people associated with comic books are involved with that show. Regardless, I like to see. It's cool to see Nightwing. It's cool to see an actor play Jason Todd. It's so in the same vein, it's cool to see Supergirl and John Johns and Mon-El, in Supergirl.
Yeah, dude, I'm the same way. Like
you said, that's something that I have to catch up on at another point. Unfortunately, it's ending, but
yeah. And what you said about Titans is, I mean, I feel the same way. It's the same reason that I watch Gotham. It's the same reason that prior to having the Snyder Cut, that I watched the original Justice League theatrical a lot of times, because it's like, well, I want to see these characters. I don't care if it's bad. It's the only one we've got,
Did you, without revealing your age, did you watch?
I turned 36 today. How about that?
Spider-Man and Hulk TV shows, and did you get to see that as a kid somehow, some way?
Yeah, I mean, I remember seeing some Spider-Man stuff, but really when I came up, it was the animated series started. The X-Men animated series was happening. I had watched like the real Ghostbusters, Beetlejuice, that kind of stuff.
So there was, I was already, whatever, but not giving away my age. But I'm sure there was a portion of you that, man, I wish I could see this character as a live action, whatever,
Yeah, for real. I mean, when they started those X-Men movies, I couldn't believe it, because it was like I had, watched that whole series, read the Jim Lee Claremont comics, and when that happened, I was just fully on board, premiere night, ready to go. But we got a lot of shit on here if we're not going to do a 2-hour live, so.
Hi, Adam. Adam Gonzalez is one of the great guys in the community. Sorry to interrupt.
No, man. Pleasure to have you, Adam. Are you a gamer at all? Because they did the Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and Gotham Knights.
I'm a gamer, right? But the last couple of years of maybe as I reach my senior citizenship in gaming, I've just been into like Madden and my last big game movement you can imagine is the Arkham Knight. So I took my black PS4, traded in for the Arkham PS4 because I had to have a Batman PS4.
Nice.
And that was, I bought games since then, don't get me wrong, but that was my last big, like, my system's brand new, but I gotta have that Batman system. Yeah, like these new games, not for me.
I think they look awesome. I haven't been a gamer since like early mid-90s, but I think that they look amazing. Like recently, my co-host Ben got me to come over and play Arkham City for the first time, and that was so much fun. And
you never? I think I listened to that show.
No, because Tom asked me about it when I was on Dunk's show with you.
Okay.
And so I just recently.
Oh, I just heard you talking about that, and dude, that is in that trilogy, that's the best one.
Yeah, it was great, and I mean, all this shit looks awesome. It's more the kind of thing where I'd probably just watch, the edited clips of it on YouTube or something, and watch the story play out, because I don't really necessarily need to play it, but I'm amazed at, I saw some of the screenshots, and it's like, how How is this Harley not an actor? I can't even believe it. It's
yeah, right.
It's so realistic when I come from NES and SNES, like it's nuts.
Yeah.
So after that, I felt actually surprised. They caught me off guard. They just dropped the Flash. They just snuck it right in there.
Yeah.
That trailer, I was expecting my first full look at Keaton in this, and
yeah.
and though we didn't get it, I was not in any way disappointed with what we got because I thought it was a perfect tease.
It's funny, because I think, oh my God, the actor, what's his name?
Ezra
Miller. He did the intro or whatever, and we're not going to show you much. And it was, I don't know if it was a minute and a half or whatever, but it was much more than I expected.
Yeah.
After his his intro. So
I had the same thought because he was like, "Yeah, we don't have enough for a trailer. We don't have enough for a teaser. Yeah. So here's just a thing that we slapped together." And I was like, "What are you talking about? That's a legit teaser. What are you talking about?" But
dude, that was and in reference to that movie, and which to the Batman, which we'll get to, I'm sure later. I personally felt there wasn't a lot of story given away.
Yeah.
As it happens with a lot of modern movies. The whole story's in the trailer.
Yep.
I know everything. I've seen the best parts. It's in the fucking trailer. I felt like with the Flash and the Batman, they didn't give away too much. They showed some cool parts, but they didn't show. When he at the end of the trailer when he pulled the top off.
I know, and they didn't show us.
Good. I mean, it hurt. It fucking hurt me.
But it's the good kind. I was talking to Bat Dags from Australia right when that was happening. We were messaging each other back and forth. Okay. And he screenshotted me saying to him, I can't believe they cut it off. They didn't show us the fucking Batmobile. But because my text came up on his screen right above the actual shot of the sheet over the Batmobile. I was like, oh, that's funny. But I thought they handled it really well because again, Ben, my co-host, he doesn't watch trailers at all anymore because they give so much away. And so that was a nice tease. It was less than I wanted, and it was exactly totally satisfying at the same time,
Yeah.
What do you think about that screenshot though of the cowl, the blood and the cowl on the floor? Because I thought it was Affleck because the way it's cut around the mouth, and then it's got this sort of kind of webbed bottom part that looks like Keaton with the big points. And so everyone's like, no, it's Keaton. And I'm like, I don't know. And so
I don't know.
It almost looked like some fucked up combo.
Tom mentioned that last night, and you guys are super huge, 89 guys.
Yeah.
I just assuming because he's in the movie, it's Keaton. I really don't know.
Yeah. I think they're just kind of trolling us a little bit with that and trying to get us to talk about it and hype it up.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't it make sense? In one respect, it would make sense because the Ezra Miller, I don't know, clone, double timeline alternate is wearing the
returns
suit.
Yep.
Painted over, so maybe I don't know. Maybe something happened. He didn't need the cowl. Maybe it's something to that effect.
Yeah, I'm gonna be really excited to see how that plays out. I mean, when they did the first Fandome, it was right on the heels of it being announced that Keaton was even coming back. So it's cool that at this one we got to, actually get a glimpse a little bit anyway, or at least get his narration. Little silhouette shot. But
dude,
yeah, I'm on board. It's I was there in '89 midnight, fucking with the buttons and the whole bullshit. And you're Captain Kangaroo.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought it would happen.
Yeah,
for me that was in the past and let it go. And you '89 fans, blah blah blah, coming to the modern era. But I mean, here we are. And it's cool. It's great.
It's a great time to be a fan, man. It really is.
Oh shit! The toy page joined us. Fucking hell! We are in the big time right now.
Presence of greatness.
Toy page. He's a great guy. Toy page.
All right, so we're about halfway through the drops.
Kevin is watching this video. Jesus, Christmas.
Yeah, we got a lot of friends in here. So yeah, we're about halfway through the drops at DC Fandome.
Yeah.
After that, I'm pretty sure you haven't seen it yet, but they teased the new Harley season for HBO, the DC Universe show.
I have, that's another thing that I have to watch from the beginning to whatever. It's the third season, I think. Yeah,
dude. And she made a pretty good joke about it. It's like, yeah, we announced this third season in 1979 because it felt like so fucking long ago. And, I'm already on, I think digitally, the third issue of that comic, the spinoff, is already out. And we still don't have anything. And so when they showed those black and white, like, storyboard sketches with voices attached to them, I was like, oh my God, you guys are really still just chipping away.
Yeah.
But I love that fucking show.
It comes highly recommended from you and a couple other people. So that's something, it's I slacked off on it, and then my daughter, got older, so it's like she's 6 now, and she kind of understands words and sentences and phrases.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, maybe I'll watch it when I'm, at night. And then it's like, we're starting to go back to work. So, it's a whole fucking, I'm going to get it in there. I promise.
Yeah, just definitely do it without the little ones. Because when we just reviewed it on an episode that hasn't aired yet. And, what up, Ev, my co-host there. We just reviewed it. And
what's your co-host name?
Evan. Sticks and Scones.
No, but
Sticks and Scones.
All right, Sticks and Scones.
Yeah.
How you doing, Sticks and Scones?
And but yeah, the first line that she says on that series is "Party's over, you pieces of shit," and just starts like fucking cracking heads, busting kneecaps like in the first 1 minute of the show. So definitely keep your kids away.
Yeah.
They brought in Bruce Timm and J.J. Abrams and Matt Reeves to talk about.
Yeah.
Batman Caped Crusader. Actually, I'm wearing this right now.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
My lady just gave me that.
Shirt.
Today is one of those designs from Simon, Batman the Animated fan.
I'm I don't even know how to say it. I don't want to offend anybody. I'm just gonna say I'm a white skin Poison Ivy fan.
Yeah.
Not the green skin.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know fucking how to say it.
I like it all, man. I just recently read that one that was the Clay Man, like solo spinoff of Poison Ivy. It was like Cycles of Life and Death. I just read that not that long ago, and that's like the classic, more human Ivy. That was super rad.
Wow, we're getting famous people here. El Black Bat, amazing artist. Wow.
What's up?
I bought pins and T-shirts from El Black Bat, so that's cool.
Nice. But yeah, Caped Crusader, man, like that when Bruce Timm pitched it as more Batman the Animated Series than Batman the Animated Series, I'm like, okay, well, you got to kind of sell me on that. And he's like, well, if you think about back in 92, this was on daytime television for kids, so there was a lot of limits as to the kind of stories we could tell, what we could do with adult themes and violence and stuff like that. He's like, so now with HBO, we can really do the exact way that I wanted to do it in the beginning. And I was like, man, you think about a show like that as being really fearless and uncompromising, but they did still have to deal with standards and practices. So that could be pretty cool if it's very much rooted in all that style, but trying to tell more grown-up tales. I'm stoked.
But there's the but that you just said, and the but is, well, you did the Killing Joke, but you had Bruce Wayne and Barbara Gordon having a romantic relationship or whatever, and dude, like, you did that, and I for one am not interested in that. So fingers crossed.
I don't.
The show concept sounds great.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have total like blind trust of Bruce Timm as a producer because of, you know, the Batman and Harley animated movie and certain things like that where, you know, he had his influence and like cool. But then it starts to like take a turn halfway through and you're like, Jesus Christ, you know, but at least if he's involved in the artwork, you know, and the theme, cool, you know, maybe bring back Alan Burnett or some of these great writers, Paul Dini, you know, and let them tell some more stories, but I'm excited.
Yeah, you said Paul Dini. Paul Dini. I don't know what that relationship looks like, but you know, fingers crossed. Shit.
Yeah, I hope so. Okay, well, moving right ahead, we kind of already talked about Shazam: Fury of the Gods just briefly. We didn't get too much of that. Gotham Knights was the other game there. I think that looks awesome. Now,
how'd you feel about that? Like, how do you like? What's your stance on that?
I mean, I think it looks rad the way they're doing the Court of Owls stuff, you know, and they brought in. I thought it was cool. They brought in Capullo and Snyder and Jim Lee to kind of talk about how closely it does tie to those stories, but they're, you know, twisting it their own way, obviously, and taking Batman out of the picture first. But yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. Like, how does everyone fend for themselves when he's gone? You know,
I'm an unabashed Bruce Wayne guy, so
yeah, me too.
You know. Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson. So you start to lose me after that. I don't know. I hope it's good. I don't anticipate buying it. Like, I don't anticipate buying the Suicide Squad game.
Yeah.
But, you know, maybe later on.
Well, they didn't show anyone replacing him in the cowl, right? Because my reading of it was that it's like he's gone and then the Bat Fam kind of just carries on, which I'm much more interested in that story than I am someone trying to, you know, step into his shoes.
Yes. That's where I'm with you. Like, for me, Bruce Wayne is Batman. Nobody else can be, like, anyone else pretended to be Batman. Yeah. I'd much rather you continue your own path and try to do what he was doing, you know, as your own character. So, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Another show that I haven't watched, just again because of kind of the tone of some of these shows being a little bit silly or a little bit corny to me, but the teaser for Batwoman looked pretty cool. They had the dude who plays Luke Fox on there, and I haven't really seen any of it. I'm a fan of Kate Kane. I've read some of the Greg Rucka solo stuff in the comics that I liked. I really liked Tynan's detective run that's kind of got her at the forefront. But the show just kind of looked bad. And surprisingly, of all things, Batwing was the one like, ooh, that looks pretty badass. Like, I don't care too much about Batwing and Luke Fox in general, but I thought, I don't know, that's making me want to watch the show from the beginning.
Yeah, like did you watch any of the first season?
No, not yet.
Okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
Real quick shout out to Final Boss. Yeah, you know, the first it was okay, and then the actress left the show, and then they had to replace her. I watched a little bit of that, and you know, like I said in the beginning, I'm a fucking sucker for these. Yeah. Are you gonna put somebody in a suit on live action?
Well, and talking about that, like when we mentioned Supergirl earlier, one of the things that I loved about that show is literally how they put her in the suit. Because again, like I had just read all the Michael Turner stuff, and you know they play her like she's young but very sexualized, and you know it's just like all exposed legs and midriff and everything. And I loved with this one, it's like a full suit down to the skirt. They got the tall boots up. This is like treating the character as like her story is what matters here, not how hot she looks or something. And to be honest, I thought it was the coolest Supergirl suit yet. I I love it.
Yeah.
Like particularly her early season one. I think now she just has more of a head to toe Superman kind of suit, but
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was badass because it was a cool marriage of the two, you know, and I even
definitely
liked the look of Batwoman. I thought that the suit looked good with who was it? Ruby Rose, right? Who did the first season?
Ruby Rose. Yeah. I was fine with it. I don't know. I know some people weren't happy with her, but
Yeah.
I thought she was okay. I enjoyed the show.
Well, I have to check that out. Is that on HBO too right now?
I think so. I downloaded. It was on the CW app for free.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know. It might be on CW or Netflix or the Flash on Netflix, Supergirl's on Netflix. Like there's a couple different things going on there. I'm sure you have one of the three. So
yeah, I have two of the three, so I'll have to look for that. Another one that they announced here, which I hadn't heard anything about, was the animated Catwoman Hunted.
I did. That was news to me.
Yeah. And I was so happy with when they did year one, and it just had its 10-year anniversary this week, I think. But the
animated movie.
Yeah, the adaptation of year one had that bonus, like 10-minute or 15-minute Catwoman solo short with Eliza Dushku. Mm-hmm. And I fucking loved that. I thought it was better than the movie. Like, I watched it over and over again. And so to get another Catwoman spinoff period, feature length, I'm very happy about that.
I'm down for it, too.
They didn't really show us too much of it, I don't think, but it looked like, definitely an action-style Catwoman movie, like a lot of shit going on.
I'm definitely down for it. She's a great character.
Yeah.
She could go either way, multiple different ways. So, yeah, I'm down for it.
I actually haven't read too much of her solo stuff because, like, I love Jim Ballant and the way he draws her is so iconic. And, I read some of those comics, and she's, like, off in the jungle with all these people I never heard of, just doing these weird military missions and shit. And I was like, this is strange.
So, last week, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Last week, we did an interview with Cliff Chang. He's doing a Catwoman story.
Lonely City.
And she's, Lonely City. So, Bruce Wayne has passed away, and Catwoman is, relatively a senior citizen.
Oh, wow.
So I guess some of her past transgressions come back to haunt her. So, yeah.
That's badass. I'm actually going to go, I'm normally the trade waiter guy, but lately there's been so many cool titles coming out that I've just been subscribing to them. And I saw that one was coming out today, and being able to go and pick up a brand new title that drops on my birthday. I'm very excited about that. So
today's your birthday?
It is. And so
Get the fuck out of here.
So I'm going to go down there as soon as we're done and pick up Lonely City.
You got to say that from the minute we start, not like halfway through, like, it just happens to be my birthday. Dude, happy birthday.
Tk you, man.
This is fucking amazing. I get to celebrate your birthday with you.
Yes, sir.
This is amazing. Like, wow, what a treat.
No better way than to talk about this stuff we love, and
Yeah. Oh man, this is so awesome. Wow.
Actually, that's why when I showed you this, that was my birthday present today. So
that's fucking cool. From the missus?
Yeah, from my lady.
Oh, awesome. She has good taste.
So the last
shirts and in men.
Yes. Oh, thanks, man. So the last part, speaking of Catwoman, we finally got the Batman, and I love everything about this, but first and foremost, I think Zoe's going to be our greatest Catwoman. Like she's picture perfect, I already love her as an actor, but wow.
First of all, I've never seen her as an actress or actor. But yeah, I'm on board with you.
Yeah.
I just, slight little mannerisms and facials, and just I'm sold more than and there was a lot of great actresses that played Catwoman, but there was in this trailer there was something that spoke Selena to me.
Yeah, so very much. And
I'm on board with you.
I absolutely love Michelle Pfeiffer's version. I have advocated that Anne Hathaway does not get her due praise for that performance. She didn't get a lot of screen time or a lot to do in that movie, but I thought she was awesome.
I can agree with that, yeah.
Yeah. And I really just think that this one is... I really trusted... As soon as I heard that Affleck was out and they were getting a new director, I was like, you son of a bitch! And they're like, it's Matt Reeves. I'm like, oh, okay. All right, it's Matt Reeves. I trust this guy. Seeing how seriously they're taking it, you know, back to the source material, it's like, yes, this is the Catwoman that we've always wanted, you know.
So how do you feel about Halle Berry?
To be honest, I haven't watched the movie because the clips I've seen look so fucking stupid. And like, she's not Selena Kyle, you know, she's some other character. She's got some superpowers, some weird mystical shit.
It was a tough watch.
Yeah. I mean, like, the photos, sure, but the cosplay was good.
Yes. No bueno.
Yeah.
As they say.
Yeah. To me, that was like Schumacher made a Catwoman movie or something, you know, from the clips I saw.
I wouldn't say that about Joel Schumacher. It was a little bit tougher than that.
But yeah, man, everything about the Batman trailer is awesome. I loved the Penguin.
Yes.
I don't know if was it you I was talking to, where I was like, dude, that last shot of the Penguin where he's driving and there's an explosion behind him and he's like lit up with adrenaline, like, yes, I got you. Like he's barely escaping, you know? Like, oh man, that just had me.
He's like, I got you. Dude,
yeah.
You don't fucking... I was saying to the boys last night, like, in reference to that scene with the Penguin and Batman, I hope that after this will go on about Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
In my opinion, like, Robert Pattinson's Batman just cuts a fucking path through this trailer, like, straight through the trailer. Like, this is a motherfucker, excuse my language, that you don't mess with.
Yeah.
And it's nailed in that scene where Penguin's like, I got you. And he comes out of that fire and he's walking through the fire and this guy's hanging upside down. And like, don't mess with that motherfucker because he's next level.
Well, so, I mean, think about what little we've seen. I mean, that shot was kind of like in The Dark Knight when the tumbler launches up and gets hit by the bazooka, you know, and just goes right through it.
Yes.
You know, like, we've seen him get blown up. We've seen him get machine gunned. We've seen him get shot at point blank range, right? So, like, I still remember seeing, you know, when I was very young, that first rooftop scene in 89 with Keaton where he descends on the muggers, they shoot him, he falls over, and stands right back up, and just being like, oh my God, you know. And this is like next level. I mean, and some people complain, like, that's not realistic. Like, where is all that energy going to go? It's physics, man. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry. I like RoboCop, and I can imagine a Batman that's got RoboCop level armor on, and I think it's fucking cool.
God, this is comic books. It's superhero shit.
Yeah.
Don't start talking of realism and blood and crime scenes. Don't do that. Don't.
Yeah.
You ruin it. No, he's fucking badass. I mean. Yeah,
and I was the first person to be complaining when Pattinson was cast because, you know,
of course.
I'm just very. I don't know, it's the punk rock in me. Like, I I really hate things that tend to be like if there's a big craze over some real, what I think is just kind of like superficial crap, you know? Like when I was younger, whether it's, you know, boy bands in the 90s or whether it's Twilight in the 2000s, I'm like, man, how is this what everyone's wasting their money on, you know? And
Did you see those movies, those Twilight movies?
Yeah, because my wife was mad into them, and so I saw all but the last one, I think.
I have not laid 30 seconds of an eye on those movies, but because they weren't for me, not because I...
Totally, yeah.
Not because fuck him, you know, it's just, this is not what I'm interested in.
Well, but I was like, mad.
He's an actor.
Because
like, he's not an actual vampire. Like, you know, does everybody understand this? Does everybody in the crowd understand this? He's an actor.
I love that scene too, dude. The take it easy, sweetheart. You know, like that looks badass.
That was fucking great.
But yeah, dude, Grumps, what you're saying about him being an actor, for me, it was just hard because I had committed to my hate early on. And I made this really, well, I mean publicly, because I made this dumb punk EP like, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. And one of the songs on it was a joke song, and it was called Robert Pattinson Can Suck My Dick, because he was like the big, you know, the big dude. And we were just trying to piss people off. And so that song exists, and my drummer from that record, he hit me up the other day after he watched the trailer. He's like, "Yo, I think we need to change the name of that song and redo it to like Robert Pattinson, I'll suck your dick." Like that was amazing.
Man. Wow.
So yeah, it was tough for me to swallow, but it looks fantastic, and I mean the caliber of actors, whether it's Zoe or Colin or Paul Dano is a favorite of mine. I love his work.
See, I'm not familiar with him.
Have you seen There Will Be Blood?
I have not.
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Not against, but I was kind of disinterested in the beginning. And you know, Batforce Town was like, "Oh, you don't." I'm not familiar with the guy, but
he's a world-class actor. Like I remember a few years back, just like joking around with my family and my wife and going like, if there was a movie made about you, like who would play you? Or like, oh, who would play her? Who would play mom? You know, like, and we were trying to come up with that. Trying to think of like, all right, man, who would I want to be? I chose Paul Dano. I was like, man, that dude is amazing. I would love to see him, you know, like, and like if you could dream your life story as a movie, who would it be? And I was like, man, that dude could make me way cooler.
That's cool though.
The thing that interests me about his involvement though is that they've gone to great lengths to not really show us his face, really.
Yeah. In the first trailer, I think they showed a frontal, but he had
the mask.
He had a mask and goggles.
Yeah.
And in this trailer, they showed, I wouldn't even call it a side. It was, you know, maybe his ear or something.
Yeah. And I think the only criticism that I will agree with or accept, at least, for this trailer is people that have been like, man, how are you going to take a movie that's this dark and serious and have latte art as the intro? And I'm like, okay. Yeah, that's a little funny.
Yeah, latte art. Like, fucking hell. How'd you manage that?
Yeah. That's
you gotta be talented.
That's a little goofy, but I'm excited. And you know, people talked about like...
Sammy, there's a, if you don't mind, there's a comment from the animated Batman.
Yeah.
There's like 1 or 2 comments. I liked how conversational Penguin was with his "Take It Easy, Sweetheart." I thought it was amusing and perhaps showed that backroom dealer type Penguin that usually tries to be with Batman.
That's why I quoted it. I saw that one come in. I see another one here, though. He says, Matt Reeves' level of involvement in the Bat media is exciting, too. Because we talked a little bit about the Cape Crusader thing, and I know there's also supposed to be, like, the Batgirl spinoff, and I know that's more in the Snyderverse, because J.K. Simmons is involved. But I know there's also supposed to be a cop show that's focused on the GCPD that Matt Reeves is involved in. So, I mean,
on HBO, right?
Yeah, so I mean that's all good news. You know, I'm really happy, especially seeing these early looks. Like, I think we're gonna have a good few years of Bat content.
Yeah, it's a treat for sure. What else can we talk about in that trailer? Because man, there was a lot in that trailer.
I mean, for me, the cinematography was huge, and like those wide shots, the silhouettes of Batman and Catwoman, you know, her flipping off the rooftop and all that palette. Shit. Yeah, the colors. We got to see Andy Serkis as Alfred for the first time.
Yeah, we did the show last night and we talked about the trailer and blah blah blah, right? And after the show, I watched it. You know, I watched the trailer again, and I said, "Let me go back and watch the first trailer."
Yeah.
So then I watched the last year's trailer, and I was like, "Oh shit, there's things in this trailer that you could." I don't mind spoilers. Like, spoilers don't bother me. I am a person that read the '89 paperback
before you saw the movie.
Before I saw the movie.
Oh no!
See the movie, it didn't bother me. So, if you watch the trailers like back to back, there's things that you can piece together.
Interesting.
You know, very little. Which I want to say, you know, while I'm on with you, I don't think they gave away too much in terms of story.
Yeah.
In either trailer. So, you know, let me get that out of the way. But I thought there were certain scenes that you could piece together from the first trailer to this trailer. I don't want to spoil it for anybody who doesn't want it, but
for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I mean, I'm interested in this take on Riddler in the more, you know, 7 serial killer sort of angle, because Riddler can be a great character. He's just so often really corny, you know. He's got the fucking, in the comics, he's either like bald and goofy looking, or he's got the massive sideburns and goofy looking, or he can be really one note. So if you take him and make him like the Zodiac Killer, Scorpio from Dirty Harry, or something like that, I mean, I can really see it.
My Riddler has the whole suit with the question marks. That's what Frank Gorshin.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up with. So this, and then there was the animated series that kind of reinvented him with is it a derby, or I forget what kind of hat he had.
Well, yeah.
And this is just another reinvention.
Yeah, yeah. And to me, like, the 66 as well as like the first animated series version, like I like those. I think they were treated right, but then after that, it's easy for him to kind of, or like 0 Year was a good story. I just thought he looked like a dumbass. But
yeah, that didn't resonate with me at all.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. So I mean, either way, I'm not here to criticize other things. I'm here to just say this looks like one of the coolest Riddler things that we've probably ever seen. And
definitely. Like you had said earlier, there's a serial killer aspect to it.
Yeah.
And we don't know, because this trailer did not reveal a ton of story. In my opinion, for me, it didn't. You know, I'm still like, what's happening here? So, which I appreciate.
Yeah, definitely. And actually, before I forget, another one that I did like, Corey Michael Smith was one of the best parts of Gotham. I thought that they played him. They did it almost. He had a shade of Two-Face, the way he was kind of like he was unraveling a little bit before he went that way. But I mean, he was fucking brutal once they really, you know, brought him all the way into being Riddler from being Ed. Yeah. I thought that was really cool. Last thing I want to mention about the Batman trailer is I feel like last year we got a little more of Jeffrey Wright. We didn't get a lot of Gordon this time, but I think he's awesome.
Yeah, again, I'm down for it. You know, like when we started talking about this, like, I'm a Bruce Wayne guy. For me, it's got to be Bruce Wayne, or I have unfortunately, zero to little interest in it.
Yeah.
Like, for me, Bruce Wayne is Batman. Whether he's, now, here comes the whatever caveat, whether he's black, white, or whatever, fine. And, as a person of color, black man, like, it's got to be Bruce Wayne. For me, the story has to be Bruce Wayne. Not for everybody, but for me, it has to be Bruce Wayne. So, Jeffrey Wright is an amazing actor. I'm excited to see his Commissioner Gordon. I'm excited to see, I apologize, I forget the actress name for Batgirl. I'm excited to see that world continue with the Batgirl actress.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'm super excited about this. And if we can just circle back to Robert Pattinson real quick.
Yeah.
He's an actor.
Yep.
He's not, I saw the Twilight trailers, commercials, whatever, but he's an actor. He's not that character to me. He's Batman.
Yeah.
Now.
And when
he's in my world now, our world.
Yeah. Well, and when he was cast, everyone was like, okay, you got to watch Good Time. You got to watch this. You got to watch that. And I watched a couple of the movies. I'm like, okay, these movies aren't living up to the hype for me. Like, they're not that good. But his performances are good. So I can acknowledge that. Like, he's fine.
Of course.
And it, it's just taking a little bit of time to see somebody in different roles, like you're saying. And it's like if a TV actor has been on a successful show for a decade and, they're super famous, super successful, but then they can't get work because everyone sees them as that fucking guy, It's just it's that kind of thing of like, you just got to take some time and get over it,
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I don't know. In my early adulthood, let's say, there was this fucking whole thing, Twilight, that I had zero to do with.
Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. He's whatever. He's a person. He's an actor, and he's,
I think he's gonna kill it.
In these two trailers, specifically this trailer, Last Night with the Boys, and this Batman cuts a path for me through this trailer. I feel like this, just for me.
Yeah.
Now, this Batman might outshine these villains, as opposed to other movies where they kind of outshined him.
Yeah.
He's brutal. He's raw. He's visceral. It's. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, and think about what you just said, because this movie could easily be accused of overkill on paper. You have 3 of the Rogues Gallery in this movie, and yet it looks Batman focused or Bruce Wayne focused, And when they did the little interview panel before they showed it, Pattinson himself said that this Batman seems to not have carved out, okay, who is Bruce Wayne to the public, who is Batman.
Yes.
He's like, it's a little bit muddier. It's a little bit more fucked up. Like, this guy is really going through it. And we haven't seen that. I mean, we saw it a little bit with Keaton. Like, I mean, you see Keaton with Shrek or something, and, he's not trying to hide it that he's, making moves or that he's not taking any shit. But, like, this just seems like a really unique take on he doesn't know who he is yet.
You're right. And I said that in private and, in public. Like, okay, so my feeling was this is his second year. I don't know if that's canon or what.
I think that's right.
Like, it's his second year. And I just felt like from these 2 trailers, like, he doesn't quite grasp what he's gotten himself into.
Yeah.
Like, it's much bigger. Like, I know whatever. I'm a ninja and I could do this and that. Nah, dude, you got yourself into something much bigger than you expected.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It looks cool.
Cool. Well, thanks for hanging out with me today. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for inviting me on. I mean, I appreciate it. This is amazing. First of all, you're awesome. And
thanks, man.
Your guys' show is awesome. And I appreciate you reaching out to me and inviting me.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, I mean, we were already chatting about it, and I thought, well, shit, if I can't do a proper episode of the podcast, well, maybe we'll just hang out and talk about it here, because I know that my co-host didn't watch the whole fucking thing, and I knew you did.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, man, let's do it, because we're always
more power to him. If he can avoid it, he's gonna have a I don't know about you, but I can't. I need more.
Yeah, dude. I mean, like I was saying, if I get down about things or about the future, and then we get some drops like this of like, man, next year I'm gonna get 3 different live action Batman on screen. Like, I'm holding on to that. I'm looking forward to it.
Can you believe that?
It's crazy.
We didn't talk about. I'm here talking to you for all this time. We didn't talk about Aquaman and Black Manta. And
oh yeah, you're right.
All that shit.
I tried to piece together about like all the list of all the shit, and there's just so much. It's insane.
Yeah.
All right, man.
This is awesome, man. I mean, people talk shit about Facebook and Instagram and social media, but you have moments like this, where we're able to make friends and come together and talk about shit that we love. I find it amazing.
Yeah,
I'm thankful for it.
Very specifically, the Instagram fan community is fantastic. A lot of positivity and lifting each other up and
yes.
I've been seeing you do these lives, and I've never really done them myself, and so I just thought it'd be a great place to start.
Yeah, no, this is all. Thank you.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna go to my local comic shop and pick up Catwoman Lonely City. So I'll let you guys know how it is.
Yeah, please let me know how it was. Tell your wife I said hello.
Will do. All right, take care, guys.
Tell the boys I said hello as well.
This is Robin. Thanks for checking out the Bat Fanatic podcast with Sammy Warm Hands.
All right, that is our show. Thank you guys so much for checking it out. Thank you to Grumps for taking the time. We just kind of winged it. We threw it together last minute, and I think it came out pretty cool. Like I said, kind of underproduced compared to the regular show, but I had a fun time doing it, and, we got a little interaction with people along the way. So if you like this stuff, drop a comment, let us know. Shoot a DM, put it in your review on the Apple Podcasts app. We appreciate all that. Help spread the word about the show. Now, this is a bonus episode, so I'll be back with the gang next Friday. This will not throw off the flow of the show. If you missed our most recent episode, we're talking Batman White Knight Presents Harley Quinn, and we will return next Friday with HBO's Harley Quinn.